this might work as a broom. This is all I could find. I know it's a mop, but, you know, I still think it could work. We could go zoom! Oh, and hello and welcome, boys and girls, to another of Cosette's Enchanted Journeys. You just caught Cosette and I doing a little broom shopping. You see, most of the time when we travel, we take our magic carpet and fly to a special place for an enchanted story. But today's story has to do with a very special witch friend of ours, and she's on the prowl for a new broom. So we thought we would check it out and maybe try a different mode of transportation today. A magic mop. Do you think it'll work, Cosette? There's only one way to find out. Let's rub our hands together and say our magic words. I wish to go on an enchanted journey, and away we'll go. And welcome, boys and girls, to another of Cosette's Enchanted Journeys story times. And today I have for you Zoom Broom, which is a follow-up to another special story I really like, which is called Piggie Pie. I hope you like Zoom Broom. Gritch the witch plunked down in her batwing chair with a dusty ker-plop. She propped up her tootsies, uncurled her toes, then warmed those 13 delicate digits by the roaring fire. Gritch dunked a biscotti into a bubbling brew of espresso and crunched down on the cookie with her good front tooth. She slurped, she slobbered, she smacked her lips. Those crispy winged cookies were so tasty. But as tasty as they were, and they were tasty, make no mistake about that, Gritch's belly still grumbled for something more. A nibble that was just a bit more filling, fattening, furry. Gritch grinned. Yes, rabbit, right. She cackled with a drool. She always did have a hankering for a hunk of hair. Nothing better than the aroma of hot baking bunny bread, Gritch said with a snort. She gave her fingers a snap. She knew just where to find those jumping jack rabbits, too. No problem. The farmer in the dell had a bunch of bunnies hopping all over his place, so with a hi-ho and a derry-o, Gritch grabbed her hat, to her broom gave a whistle, and away they all flew like, huh? There's a teeny little problem, Gritch shrieked as she stalled in midair. The old broom just couldn't get it in gear. The stick was stuck. It spit, sputtered, coughed, chugged, choked, and then it gave out a long, gasping, gurgly gurgle, did one loop-de-loop and tailspinned toward ground zero. What the, wow, how did the, ow, what the, hey, kaboom, hey, she spat. Gritch moaned, she groaned, she oohed and oiched, and then wobbled and hobbled over to what was left of her old broomstick. It was not a pretty sight. I've seen toothpicks better looking than this, she squawked, still spitting splinters and kicking straw. Now what am I going to do? She wailed. How can I get to where I want to go when I can't go to where I want to get what I want? Forget snaring hares and baking a batch of bunny bread. Those toasted tails would have to wait. This witch needed a broom that zipped, zapped, zoomed. Now how could she get one of those, she wondered, as she tapped her lucky wart. Who can I turn to? Gritch said as she fingered through her dress book. There's the Witch of the West. Maybe I can borrow a broom from her. No, poor dear had a meltdown. The Witch of the East? No, old gal had one of those awful house accidents. Let's see, Gritch muttered. Aha, yes, the Witch in the Woods. She never leaves that sweet little cottage. I'll just borrow a broom from her. Gritch declared, already limping down the lane. That shouldn't be a problem. Problem! Uh-oh, she screeched to a halt. Drats, Gritch grumbled. I can't go over there. She has those kids, Hansel and Gretel, living with her. Eesh, there's something about those two I just don't trust. They look at me the way I look at them. Yikes! Gritch decided it was best not to borrow a broom. She would just buy one. So she hoofed on over to Foxy's for the best deal in town. Well, howdy do and welcome to you, said the salesman. He rushed over to Gritch before her big toe could hit the showroom floor. Allow me, madam. My card, my card. He took Gritch by the arm. Looking for some new transportation, are you? Well, you've come to the right place. I can see you're a lady of quality, distinction, definite taste. Hold your sloppy choppers right there, bud, said Gritch as Foxy rolled back his tongue. I want a... Don't say another word, interrupted the fox. I know just what you're looking for. Tell you what I'm gonna do, he said with a clap. Going to roll out the red carpet for you. Yes, sirree, looky here, straight from a lad in the East. It's plush, it's lush, tassel-free. You'll feel like you're floating on air. A rug? Gritch groused with a glare. I don't want a rug. Okie dokie, little lady, okie dokie. You say no rug, then no rug. Tell you what I'm gonna do, he said with a clap. Special for you just until midnight, this magical little number right here. Fit for a princess, very low mileage, used only once, runs like a charm. What's that you say? Don't like the color orange? For you, we can paint it, we can paint it. A pumpkin? Gritch grumbled with a stare. I don't want a pumpkin. Absolutely, little lady, absolutely. You say no pumpkin, then no pumpkin. The vegetable look doesn't appeal to you. Fine, dandy. Tell you what I'm gonna do, the fox said with a clap. Maybe, save the spiel, cut the chit-chat, and can the flim-flam, Foxy, shouted Gritch into the salesman's snout. My legs are pooped, my tootsies are toasted. Ditch the pitch. I want a broom, a zoom broom, a stick that's quick, a power launch. Get it? Got it. Good. Right this way, little lady, said the fox. Right this way. A zoom broom you want, a zoom broom you'll get. Why didn't you just say so, yes sirree? The best brooms you can buy. Pick any you want. Oh my! Exclaimed Gritch, seeing all those brooms. There are so many to choose from. This one or that one? I don't know. Which one is the one I want? Okie dokie, little lady, Fox said with a clap. Which one is the one you want? That's what I just said, you flaky fox. Which one is the one I want? Fine with me, said he. Which one? That's what I'm asking you! Which one is the zoom broom? Which one is a zoom broom? That's right, said the fox. What's right? Said Gritch. It's right on the left. Left? I don't want any old brooms that are left, you flim-flamming fleecer. I want a new one, a zoom broom, you fox-trotting floor flusher. Give me one! The fox gulped. Anything you say, madam, then I'll wrap up. Which one? Which one? Anyone! Screeched Gritch. That one! She pointed. Oh, you want that broom, sighed the fox. So you want two. Two? Wailed the witch. I don't want two. What would I do with two brooms? I want one broom. One. The fox uncurled his nose. He took a deep breath and gritted his teeth. Fine, little lady, he said, unruffling his fur. Then it's which one? That's what I'm asking you, groaned Gritch. Which one? You're giving me such a problem! The fox sighed. Perhaps, little lady, you should forget about the broom. Forget about the broom? Hello! She screeched. I need a broom, you ninny. I'm a witch, remember? Oh, so you're a witch, said the fox, losing his patience. So what? Gritch glared. She stared. She screeched, squealed, squawked, kicked, stomped. So what? Gritch stopped stomping. Wait a minute. You're right. So what? After all, she thought, even a broom with zip, zap, and zoom was probably just too old-fashioned for a witch with her style. Why, with her brains, beauty, and talent, she could make anything fly. Okay there, Foxy. Give me something hip, something hot, something happening. A classic, said the fox. It's you. Care to take it for a spin? The fox said, dangling the key. Spin? Gritch gave a hoot. Under my spell, this baby is greased lightning. Top down? Asked the fox. The only way to fly, cackled Gritch, jumping in. I must warn you, little lady, said the fox. It gets a bit chilly out there with the top down, and I see you don't have a coat. Gritch looked at him and grinned. Oh, don't worry about me. I'll think of something, Foxy. No problem. No problem at all. Zoom. The end. And what did you think of Zoom Broom? Oh, I give myself a bit of a raspy throat trying to be a good Gritchy the Witchy there. Problem! It's a little bit hard to say over and over again. I hope you enjoyed my silly Gritchy the Witchy voice. In fact, I have a fun game for us to do together, since this kind of witchy kind of was a game between her and the fox selling her the broom or the car, huh? How would you like to go with me now and try a fun game where we put a wart on the witch? Kind of like pin the tail on the donkey. Does that sound fun to you? All right, let's go and try it together. All right, boys and girls, for today's craft, we are going to be making this place a wart on Gritch the Witch face game. So it's a lot like pin the tail on the donkey. It's actually very easy to do. What you can see here in front of me is I have already drawn hair and a face and things like that for my Gritch the Witch. And I had a pattern to do this. And what I'm showing you right now is from Drawing Geek on YouTube. You can get an easy to cut out witch face pattern from YouTube or on the internet if you don't want to draw your own witch face. Otherwise, you can just kind of look at a picture from a book and draw a witch's face. So the first step is drawing a witch's face and some hair and a hat, and then you're going to cut out your drawing. I've traced mine so it's easier, but what I did was I placed my traced cutout onto craft foam because that's nice and thick and that's going to stand out on my large piece of paper for this game. And now I'm just cutting out the different pieces. As you can see, I've traced her face and I'm cutting out her lips, her nose, and her eyes so that I can stick those on different colored pieces of craft foam and cut those out and stick them on her face. So I've made my Gritch green. You can make yours any color you like. And now I'm cutting out her nose and her mouth, and I'm gonna make those maybe purple or blue, just some contrasting colors to make her face really pop out. And I'm using craft foam, as I said, but I'm also using some craft foam that has sticky back so that I can just stick it right onto a large piece of paper. And then with the large piece of paper, we can hang it up on the wall and attach warts. As I said, craft foam with a sticky back works really great for this project because it just makes it very easy to put together. But if you don't have craft foam with a sticky back, or you don't have craft foam at all, you can use construction paper. You can draw a picture of a witch and make her mouth and her nose and her eyes with different colored pieces of construction paper. If you don't even have that, you can draw a picture of a witch on a plain piece of paper and color her in with colored pencils, crayons, markers, anything you like, really. There is no right or wrong with most of my projects. I'm just showing you how to do this with craft foam so it gives it a three-dimensional look and it makes it a lot of fun, like the pin the tail on the donkey game, especially when we hang this on the wall. Some of my craft foam does not have the sticky back, so I'm just using tape and I'm rolling it, as you can see in my fingers here, so that it's sticky all around, and I'm sticking that to the craft foam, and then I'm pressing that into the back of my witch's face. And then the whole project I am taping down onto a larger sheet of white paper that I can hang up onto the wall when we're all finished, and that's going to make it the fun game that we know. I've given my witch a little collar with a star, and the last thing I'm going to do is give her a hat with a star, just to make her more fun to look at. And again, all of this is optional. You can make your witch any way you like for this project. There is no right or wrong. The best part is when we're all finished hanging it up and playing the game. And to do that, what would be really helpful is if you have some furniture gliders. They're those little fuzzy things that you can stick on the bottom of like a chair leg or a table leg so that when you slide it across the floor, it doesn't scratch the floor. Those make really wonderful warts for our witch, as you're gonna see here shortly. If you don't have furniture gliders that you can use to do this project, you can simply cut out some construction paper and put double-sided tape or glue dots or anything like that on it and place that onto the witch's face like a wart as well. When you've finished designing, cutting out, and putting together your witch, guess what? You're just about done and ready for the fun. As you can see, here's my completed Gritch the Witch. The next step is I'm just gonna tape her up onto a cabinet. That way I can take my furniture gliders and try and place them like warts on her face. So close your eyes, wear a blindfold, spin around in a circle, and see if you and your family and friends can place the wart on the witch. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed another craft with me and this fun game that you can play any time of year. Add a little fun to your Halloween celebration. But I think we're out of time. So, are you ready to head back to the magic lamp and say goodbye to Cosette with me? All right, let's go. And welcome back to the Magic Lamp, boys and girls. Did you enjoy hearing more from our friend Gritch the Witch this week and how she was on the search for a new Zoom broom? It was pretty silly how her and that old wolf salesman weren't speaking the same language, were they? And what did you think of our craft? Were you able to follow along and make your very own Pin the Wart on Gritch the Witch game? I hope so. As I said before, this could be a lot of fun at your next Halloween party, and it's a pretty easy thing to make, and it's a nice twist on a classic old game like Pin the Tail on the Donkey, using our witchy friend to do a lot of fun things together. But I think we are out of time again for today, so we're gonna have to say goodbye to our friends now, Cosette, and invite them to come back and see us again real soon, and we hope you will. But until you do, take really great care of yourselves, and we will look forward to when we see you again. All right, take care. Bye-bye.